Howdy everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, we're going to do a bunch of things with the charger, namely gluing in this front piece right to the body. I'm going to throw in some decals here. Alright, so again, just going to use a huge tube of glue here. Let's see here. What I'm thinking is that, let's point it down here, is that if the light can reach it, come on, see, just throw a huge ton of glue. Come on, good place, come on. Basically, throw a huge ton of glue right down in here, where it butts up against the slotted piece I want. I know it's a little bit hard to see with the camera, but hopefully we can get it. We'll still throw some right up against the windshield right here, and then I'm going to take my reverse pliers. Here we go. I'll take these bad boys, and basically what I'll do is I'll just, how easy would this be? Yeah, I'm going to use that one. Alright, yeah, just use these guys right here. What happened? So I want to put on some decals at the same time, but I don't want to move it around too much. Okay, so that should do it right there. So if I just leave it, set it right there. Now I could do what I did last time, is just use a big old clamp right here, but there's a possibility of, I don't know. We'll just use this guy. Alright, so just going to take our tube of glue. Yeah, go there. And I'm just going to douse it right there. Just going to push it in there. There we go. Just gonna leave it right there. Grab my tweezers if I can get it. Sneak it right up there. Okay. Okay, and I'm just gonna leave it. And then I'm just gonna slowly turn it, because I want to do this right. Okay, so I picked out the decals that I want. I'm gonna go with the General Grant. Now, they didn't have a 36 star flag. We have a 35. I just did some research just before I start this video on, so I guess it was late, so I believe it was April of 1865 that General Lee surrendered to General Grant. And at that time, I believe they were still using the 35 star flag. Now, I could be wrong. I will have to do a little bit more information on this. But I didn't have a 36 star flag, and 35 was the closest I could get. And they were still using the 35 star flag in 1865. And it was in the 1860s that the Civil War was going on. Now, I'm not sure how long it went for, but that's about as close as I can get to in terms of like Civil War details. 1865, General Grant, 35 star flag. It's about as close as I can get. Now I've already cut them out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away, or the name is Grant's name and his rank away from the 35 star flag, and I'm going to go get a tub of warm water. Here we go. Alright. I'm just going to cut the numbers out. Get them away from each other individually. I'm glad to be almost done with this car. Be nice to finally work on another model kit for you guys. Okay. Let's see where the decals go. There you are. Just gotta remember make sure which number's up, which number's down. Alright, 65, 65. There we go. So the flag goes on top. Put his name right up on the top here. I'm trying to mirror the picture here on the driver's side. As you can see, this is the driver's side. The flag, the stars are going to be right above the passenger seat, which this is, and his name's going to be on the driver's side. Now I'll just do the same thing. I'll just mirror it. I'll just put General Grant's name on this side and on this side, and I'll put the 65 on both doors. License plate, I may just keep it plain. I don't know. But before I am ready, when the decal's about ready, I'll basically use a huge muck ton of Mr. Mark Setter, and then just lather it over. Just lather this entire thing. And even if it dries, I'll add some more on top. I'll add some more right here on both sides. Now, one thing I will do is just make a big enough space to where I can turn this thing. Now I know I can turn the car itself, but I don't want to do any of that. I just want to be able to turn this entire mat itself, so I don't risk moving this piece right here. So next video, I'll just be gluing in a bunch of other stuff. This might take another 2 videos. I don't know. Hopefully I can get this done. I'm taking it slow here for you guys. I don't want to mess anything up. Not that I'm saying I'm not that I'm saying I don't want to be messy on camera, but I don't want to mess it up with the model, because you're talking about moving this entire thing. Well, after I put on the firewall, but you're talking about moving this entire thing and putting it on the chassis, on the frame and everything, and hoping that you do the right, and hoping that everything goes smoothly. And that's probably not going to be the case, but I'm going to try it. So one more video, actually two more videos after this, and hopefully we'll be done. I'll show you the final product. I'm not going to touch this back window. I think I showed it from the last one. There's a huge gap right in the back here and right under here. Like, I am sliding my knife most of the way, and I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to leave it as is. It was just one of those tough chargers. Now, for you guys who really want to test it, go right ahead. But for people who just want an easy model, I personally have not tried it. There's AMT's Coke charger, which if you want to sling that up as a General Grant, a General Lee, whatever you want to do. There's several other chargers. Then there's Revell monograms or muscle whatever of the 69 charger. But there is also these AMT's 70 charger, which doesn't have that middle piece on the grill. It's just got that whole thing right across it. So you have several options out there. There's actually, I've said this before, there's a video out there talking about the different model chargers by Revell, and even a few by maybe a couple other companies. They probably mention, I believe they do mention MPCs and probably AMT's Code Charger. I can't remember. There's a huge ton of chargers you can choose from for whatever you want to do. But let's fill this sucker up with water. Warm water, that is. My container leaks, so I'm just going to put a paper towel right here. There's a huge bulge right here where the water slowly leaks, so I'll try to mitigate that best I can. Trying not to spill. There we go. Now, I think the instructions say, like, use lukewarm water or whatever. I like using hot water. It's a lot faster. Okay. Now, this guy right here. There we go. Not too bad. Come on. Okay, we're going to let that set for just a couple of seconds. There's already an air bubble right there, so like I said, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to crack the sucker here. Now, I believe this is like a one of two part solution. I didn't when I watched the video at one time. But right now, we're just going to use this guy right here. I think the second part solution to this is to help it, I don't know, take away the illusion that it's a decal. That really doesn't bother me. And I'm just going to make a huge area. Kind of a rule of thumb, just make your area bigger than the flag. Just in case. I'll set that sucker on there. I think it might be ready. Oh yeah, that sucker's ready. Yeah, hot water doesn't take too long to do its thing. Okay, I'll take that. I'm just gonna set it right down. Holy cow, look at that, that's beautiful. I do have some cotton swab or two somewhere around here. There you are. There we go. Look at that. 35-star American flag right on there. Okay. Do it one at a time. There we go. Why not put it right there? There we go. Oh, I love the Charger. It's one of my first cars I ever put together. So there's a little bit of biasness towards it. But I do like other vehicles. Sam and Dean's 67 Chevy Impala sedan. I love the Hudson Hornet. Dog Hudson from Cars. I like trucks. The Ram 50 was one of my grandpa's trucks. My brother bought a second one, at least I think it was his, that he swapped out the engines for an automatic because he liked the interior, but he liked the engine that was in the last one. Actually, I think it was a manual. I definitely like the older style trucks. The newer style is just all bland. They're all the same, honestly. I look at them, it's like, oh, there's not much difference between a Chevy or a Ford or a Dodge. Now, older Toyotas, not the Hiluxes or anything, but ones with the 22RE and 22R. I've seen videos of Redline Ranch. So I'll look at Redline Ranch. He looks at a bunch of those, gets mostly 22R or 22RE engine trucks that are Toyotas. And he works on them. They're very, very cool. Give him a look. He works on very, very simple trucks. You take off the bed, that's probably at least 8 bolts. Same with the Ram 50. Ram 50 was a Mitsubishi's. It was the Mitsubishi Mighty Max, the D50, the Ram 50, or Power Ram 50, I think, and the Plymouth Arrow. So that truck got around like Toyota, like trucks made in Japan. So it's like Toyota, Mitsubishi back in those days. Man, those trucks were probably the greatest thing that everyone loved. Yeah, the small trucks back then are definitely a lot better. Now, I know Toyota's developing a new one here pretty soon. They're trying to get that deal all said and done, I believe. So hopefully, the hope is, I mean, their thing is to hopefully have a 10 grand truck they can sell here in the U.S. Now, I'm not, now, for just regular people like you and I, just like wanting something very, very simple, like that'd be awesome. But I've got my own little truck for you guys out there. If you need a truck, like that's probably the best thing for you. You just want something very, very simple, nothing too high-techy or anything. You just want bare bones knobs and everything. It's probably the best thing ever for a lot of people. Come on, there we go. So, no, it's not too bad. A little crooked, but honestly, that's okay. There we go. Put Grant on the other side. Alright, come here. Where's my tweezers? I mean, like big trucks nowadays, the Cybertruck. Don't get me started on. And I know people like the Cybertruck or the Teslas. I just can't. My little Dodge Ram 50. That's the head right there. That guy right there. That is a single overhead cam. 4 cylinders. What is it? 16 valves? Or is it 8? Let's believe. 16 valve, I believe. Per piston, 4 valve per piston, I think. Seconds here. No, my bad. 8 valve. 8 valve head. Single overhead cam. 8 valve. 2 per piston. That's it right there. What is it? 10 head bolts. Had to take off the 2 going right over the main sprocket for the timing gear right there. That was about it. I mean, that's as simple as it is. The block's outside in the garage. Gonna work on it hopefully sometime here. Come on, don't do this. There we go. There we go. Now again, I'm just gonna move this and then turn the sucker around. I want to get the names first before I get the numbers, because then you're just going at an angle and just trying to get it right. So we're just gonna do this first. We're gonna turn it. Man, that's looking awesome. Now, I know this MPC charger gets a lot of flack, and I mean a lot, but you know what? It's a very, very simple charger. I know I've given it so much crap here on this channel here, on this videos. But there was actually, I remember there was a one time when I was doing this here. I was looking at everything, making sure everything was going in okay, and I was actually excited. I still am. I still am. I still am excited to get this charger done for you guys, to be able to show you it. You make your own decision. Now, I do have my recommendations not to buy if you're a newbie, but if a newbie really wants a challenge, by all means, go ahead, get yourself one. It looks like you got a few air bubbles here. Now, it's not a perfect charge. It's not a perfect. I sanded over this, tried to get this glossy finish off before I spray painted it. Mistake. Alright, here we go. Alright. Ooh. Forgot this guy. Nice big swatch. Here we go. Here we go. Alright. One more nameplate. Ah. Shoot. Come on. There we go. So what I think I'll do is instead of turning it around again to get the other side, I'll just start on this side, and for the 65, and then just turn it one more time to get the last side. There we go. I won't tip it up or anything. I'll just leave it as is. I'll fight the decals if I have to. I don't care. I'll fight them if I have to. That's alright with me. I'm just gonna put more swatch right here. Okay. There we go. Here we go. Take that, put it right there. Clamp it. There we go. Say this, like, by no means am I perfect at this, but I'm trying my best. So, whatever you can do, squeeze out whatever you can do. Squeeze it all out. Squeeze all that stuff out underneath this thing. In fact, let's take a giant paper towel of this thing. Yeah. There's a bit of a wet spot there. Yep, see it. I'm already squeezing the crap out. Splash there. Again, it's not perfect. And if there's any problems with this, that's on my end. The only thing I wish is I wish I was a little better at this. Okay. 65. 65. Start with the 6 first, then move to the 5. One hell of a bloody conflict for those boys. You know, not many people know this. There's a few I've told. It's because history is part of my life. I grew up reading a lot of history books, those from a few decades ago to back to the Great War, World War One, World War Two. I haven't read many books on Vietnam or Korea or any of those wars afterwards, or Iraq, Afghanistan, Gulf, Persian War, but when you read about this and you look at what we have now and what's been happening is that I think back then, what some of the guys are realizing now when they went to go fight, well, after 2001, they got screwed over badly. And so you look at everything, it's like, was it an inside job? I really don't know. I don't think, to be honest, we'll probably never get a straight answer. But yeah, when you look at everything now, a lot of these guys like, why did I go to war? It's like, had I known, I wouldn't have. And to be honest, when you look at everything, like what happened back during World War II, let's use World War II for an example. There was a lot of guys, a lot of kids, a lot of boys lied about their age so that they could enlist and go to war and defend their country. That is patriotism. That is why I love this country. That those boys went and defended their country. when probably no one else would have wanted to. Like, for them, that was their job. Come on. Right. They had a sense of duty in that regard. I forgot to put the mark setter on. Okay, let's take our thing here. See if I can't move it down just a tad. Son of a gun. Trying to move this thing. But you're not moving. You know, you move it, and then you move it too far. Okay. Okay, that's about it. That's it. That's it. I'm not doing anything with it. That's it. I'm just gonna dip some of this water in there. Push it down. Try it. Call it good. That's it. That's it for that one. I'm not doing anything else with that one. Alright. Let's see if we still got some. Hopefully we still got some more warm water in this thing. It's still warm, yeah. I may have to go back for a second round of warm water. How's the decal? Oh, it's doing pretty good. Again, if it starts peeling, that's on me. That's on me. So if some of you guys are new to this thing and you want to do your own decals, just like you want something quick like this, like pretty good success so far. Yeah, the gauges look really, really good. A little rough, but they're pretty good. But don't do what I do if you want a little bit more. Like if you want to do a little bit more research into this whole thing, go right ahead. I would say do it. Okay, I'm just gonna. That should do it. Not what I wanted to do. There we go. Got our paper towel here. All right. I'm proud of that. That is awesome right there. Now, I assume the color should have been blue, but it's black. I want it black. Okay, so we're gonna turn it around. I know it's opposite of the camera, but I promise at the end, after this video, I mean after, you know what, I think for this video, we will definitely show it off, what it looks like turned around. Okay, so we got two more here, two more decals, and then we're done. I'm going to show you it. Do a 360. Should still have enough warm water to do this. Something like this just makes me happy. You know you're at the end of it, and it's beautiful, it's awesome, it's good looking. Dare I say, sexy. Like these old muscle cars. Like if they were to make something like this right now, no EPA BS, no nothing, no none of that stuff that newer vehicles have, all that smog stuff and all that other, pardon my language, bullshit that they add onto newer engines nowadays just to, like, for environmental shit. Don't do that. Put a nice big block engine in there that will run very well. Give the option of a stick shift or an automatic, but I think most guys these days would rather have a stick shift for something like this. Let them do that, because there's a nickel dickle day. If you guys live here in Minnesota and Waconia around September, maybe mid-September or so, maybe in August, but I want to say September. It's a place, it's called Nickel Dickle Day in Waconia. There, right, kind of almost near the hospital. They have this big car meet, and you see all these awesome cars. And you just look at them, it's like, wow, that is amazing engineering right there. The decal's almost done. They're right there. I'm just gonna do a big swatch. I know that you guys aren't able to see this, but basically what I'm doing is I'm just doing a big swash right over here, right on this side, doing it bigger than the what the decals are going to be. Like I said, when you put on something like this, I would say do it bigger than the decal so you can get that whole area encompassed. Okay, I'll take this lighter off here. There we go. Okay, and this guy right here. Come on. Yeah. Oh well. It's there, it's there. See if I can set some down there. Because it's exposing itself to the elements. I really don't want that. I want to see if I can try and pull it down. Okay, I may have pulled it down just a tad. I don't know. Easy, easy, easy. No. Okay, let's try this again. Now it's acting like a sticker. freaking air bubble out of there. Well, it's not gonna be perfect. Best I can do is just try to get it sealed up here. Maybe I can just move it, get it moved just a tad. Okay, well, that's sticking real good. Well, I'm trying to get, okay, so I want to show you guys that this part of the door here, if you see, like, it's a straight line from here all the way going down to here. That's a little bit tough to see, but it's like this edge right here. I'm trying to have it stay below the edge, so if any of you guys are working on this, just try it, or thinking about that, just keep it below the edge. Alright, I got enough for one more decal. Let's do this. Like I said, not perfect at all. Come on, find us. Okay, sit your ass right there. Who knows, maybe I'll try to angle it with it. I should have my glasses off for this. Just gonna start a huge swash again. Yeah, whatever. It's gonna be a huge swatch. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now I just gotta get it out. Now I just gotta make sure all this stuff is all. I know. It's not a perfect car, but hey. It's my car. Alright, so I'm going to take a clean paper towel here. I'm just going to take it and then just kind of rub it up against this thing. So what I'm trying to do essentially is get all the air pockets out and then purge the decal of all that stuff there. Gotcha. Now if you have to, go at it from the bottom. Go from the top down. But holy cow, that looks awesome. Alright, if I could get it up. I would love to get it up on a piece of... Why not? I can pick it up. Nah, it's too reflective. Well, where is it? Oh, what better way to showcase it than on its box? Okay. Give this. Pardon me, 1 second. Let me find the cap for this. I always want to keep the cap on this glue. It's very runny, to which I like. I like it. I like it very nicely. I like it. Okay. Pardon me. Don't pardon my face. There you are. There she is. The General Grant Dodge Charger with her 35 star state flag. So like I said, it's very, very wonky. Just gonna turn the box around here. This side's even almost as crooked as the other one. Well, Not as crooked, but still. I kept the inside of the seats black. See, as you can see, this edge right here, this edge that runs all the way from the back all the way to the front. That's what I was trying to avoid, is the top of that overstretching on it. And this was the result of when you're trying to avoid that. But honestly, it looks pretty good. So yeah, overall, decals went pretty well together. What's going on here? Just gonna turn this sucker over. Well, that's just the glue, I think. Just gonna leave it as is. I'm not gonna touch it anymore. I'm just gonna leave it right there. But yeah, we got the hood right here. What's going on? I don't usually. Oh, that's right. I usually put it right about there. So we got the hood. We've got the firewall. I'm gonna glue that in. We're gonna glue the firewall in, and then we're going to at least 2 more videos. So one for the firewall, one for the this whole thing right there. Just before I even stick it on this guy, I'm going to do a test fit on everything, make sure everything's good, make sure everything's where it should be for the video. If it's gonna be if they're gonna be short videos like that, I might as well just show off what I'm doing with my Firestone truck. I've gotten pretty far on it. We're just gonna take this stuff, we're gonna move it up there, even with the box still beyond that thing here. All right, pardon me. So that went a lot better than expected for putting all the decals on. That was honestly awesome. But let's point the camera down here. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, so this is the entire chassis. This is the chassis and everything. Now, there's a video you can find of a guy working on this particular model. Now, I believe this bar, it's some sort of, I want to say sway bar type piece, or some sort of thing for when it goes like this, like when the wheels go up and down. I thought it was supposed to go across, such as in the case of going across like that, like from here to here. But I want to say it goes, instead of like that, it goes over under. Like one piece goes at the top, the other piece goes at the bottom. I'm not entirely sure. I tried looking up some photos. Wasn't too successful. I probably didn't dig too far enough to where other people would. Let's see. I need to do anything here. No. This is the here. We'll just. Usually, if I set it down like this, this would be right under it, and it would break. I've had to re-glue it several times back together. But yeah, like if you're working on a model like this, have this tube of glue with you when you're gluing in the transfer case, this piece right here, right up to this, even the putting in the engine and transmission to the frame. I've had to re-glue this arm right here to the frame just because I was using cement glue. Now, if you're doing big stuff, something like this, I recommend or even doing something like piece from the transmission to the transfer case. Just use a tube of glue. It's a lot thicker. It'll dry. It'll harden like Gorilla Glue. I used cement glue for the gas tank and gluing it on there. I've got one other piece here. It's a bar that goes slots right into here. Either I'll use cement glue. I'm almost done with this, but it's at the point where it's like, why am I like? There's not much left. Come on, is there even a great camera angle? There's not much in there. That's how much there is. And this is a full one right here. That's a full one, as you can see. So, probably keep using that for a while. There's a few things I have yet to do. The engine went together even Steven. Had fun with this color. Never tried it before. Here's this guy. Now I'm kind of torn between whether I want to do something. Now obviously I've got two cars that are black, like a matte black finish, or a flat black. I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm thinking something like shiny, like a gloss red or blue. Probably not a yellow. The kind of colors you see, it's either red or blue. Never a green. Purple is more of Dodge Chargers, the plum purple. But it's either red or blue or like a mixture. So this is from Mobius Models. This color swatch they gave me. They gave this kit. It's their 1971 Ford F-250 custom 4x4 Mobius Models. They gave us this color swatch for all their colors and everything. Now if you look at this, here they go. Let's turn the camera around. Oh, let's see. They got their standard two-tone, deluxe two-tone, and combination two-tone. As you can see, they've got different colors. I'm thinking something, if I do like one color, blue or red, I would probably add detailing to here, to this piece right here, this line that goes right in the middle there, and probably to the door, the door handle, the lock. Now this piece right now, this cab piece right here is a F350 Ranger XLT model type. I'm not too familiar with what was what for Ford. But again, I always point to the guy. There's a guy who loves these old 70s Ford pickups with their different transmissions, their different front rear differentials. It could be their suspensions, it could be the interiors, it could be the package, such as the Lariat package, the XLT package, or different trim packages. He's got a lot of information on that. I'm just going to show you what he's going to look like when he's on there. That's pretty much what he looks like. Like, look at that. Like, more than half the frame is still sticking out. That is a long. That gives you a one hell of a perspective on how long the bed was. At least a 7-foot bed, maybe an 8-foot bed. But if you extend that bed out, say if you got a 7-foot bed, you extend that bed out, and that tailgate is at least 12 inches. No, let's go a little bit wider. 16 inches. You're talking about at least an 8-foot, 2-inch bed. That is a long bed. Or even some of those, if you put the tailgate down, probably almost 12 feet worth of bed space on that sucker. And that and the truck bed goes up to your waist. If any of you have ever gone to Home Depot and you see those push-out carts, those flatbed ones that go at least up to your waist, that is what they were made for. They were made for these older F250s, 350s, 100s, 150s, because they were just that size. But then came EPA regulations and all that smog test and shit, and they made them higher. Dad's F100, F150 Lariat with a 3.5 EcoBoost, turbocharged. I am 5'9", 5'8.5", 5'9". That sucker, all the way up to the top, at least goes up to here. Maybe just a little bit higher. Let's be generous. It goes right up to here. Like where I stand up against it, that's about the range of that it's as tall as me, just from the hood. Now he can see me when he's in the truck, but for tiny people, like if you're crossing a side, if someone's going across, if someone's using a crosswalk, you may or may not be able to see someone if they're shorter than if they're obviously shorter than I am, you will not be able to see them. Newer trucks nowadays are dangerous, and they're just as high as SUVs. Newer trucks nowadays are just a glorified SUV with a bed. That's it. That is how much I hate trucks. My Ram 50 is half the height of Dad's F-150 Lariat, maybe even a third of the height. And the top, and the the top of the I cannot remember. The top of the cab goes at least up to here. Maybe a little bit higher. For me, I'm 5'5", 5'8.5", 9, 5'9". That's how high it is, and the hood goes at least down to my waist, maybe a little bit lower. But that's how small that truck is. That's how short these trucks were back then. You didn't have to worry about height. Now, if you wanted to increase the height, go right ahead. You could do that. That is the problem with newer trucks nowadays. Newer trucks, they're trying to make them they're trying to make them glorified SUVs. Got emission standards and all this other bullshit. Now, military vehicles, they've deleted all that. I see a couple of videos of people talking about how they get military vehicles in for doing like mechanical work. A lot of that stuff is deleted. A lot of that EPA emission standard is deleted, gone, it's not there. And now if you look at this also gives you a general idea of what the engine bay is going to look like. All I had to do was disconnect stuff from the transmission. You got the back here, exhaust manifold, intake and exhaust manifold side, transmission, the mounting points. That's like 1, 2, 3. 3 areas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. 3 areas, 5 spots. That comes across, if that makes sense to a bunch of you guys. But still, for a lot of that stuff, that is very, very easy. To get to the engine on newer vehicles, you have to disconnect the cab, you have to disconnect a bunch of other stuff. It's like, why? Why do I need to do, why should I do that? Like for me, I would love a little Ford Ranger, like the older 2000s, early 2000s, or even a 22RE Toyota truck, or even like an older F-150, 250, 350, those kind of guys. I would love one of those trucks. Do it again. Now, it was kind of scary when the guy who told me back home when I blew the connecting rod, like a bad engine, I was freaking out a little bit. I was so scared. Like I had that truck for a couple of months at that time, and I was so scared that I would lose that truck, the truck that on a fluke I found. I was so scared. But now I'm getting it back together. I'm trying to get it back. I'm ready to send my old crankshaft back. Like everything's still there. I just got to print out the order and everything. But I sent them off the questions like, where do I send it? Because the email address. I mean, not the email address. The address that it was their shipping company. Now I probably, if I don't hear them back in a couple days, I'll just send it straight back to where it came from. And just give them the and just put it in the box with the order that they gave me. I sent it back with a tag. I got a new crankshaft, new connecting rod. They even sent me new bearings. I had already bought a rebuild kit that already came with bearings, so it's like, holy cow! I didn't pay for this. I'm guessing it's standard when they do that stuff. And I did a core charge, so I can send my old one back for them. And it's honestly amazing that there's still this kind of work going around. They want to keep these crankshafts, their crankshaft project going, so that they can be able to give it to other people who have another problem with this. And then, now, my dad has said that he's kind of pushing me towards the trades, and not so much in the way of like pushing me religiously, but he's kind of pushing, he's kind of nudging. It's more of like in small points here and there, and I get where he's coming from. I really do, and I do see a need. That's why I'm working the job that I am. It pays good. It does. It really does. I just need to save up, and good in some areas, horrible in others. I do see where he's coming from. Maybe I'll go diesel mechanics or something, or something. Just kind of, I told him straight up, I was like, I don't want you guys to pay. I saw what happened to my Gideon and Hannah. They were the last few ones. They were the last two to kind of do college. My sister Lydia, I think she did college, University of North Dakota. Um, I think she paid for everything herself, or I'm not sure what she did. But my brother Gideon, he went through ROTC or Air Force ROTC. My sister Hannah, she did Pensacola College, and she had to borrow money from mom and dad, and I feel bad. I do, and it's like they were the last ones to, I would say, to go to college of our family. And then my older sister Rebecca, she was the last person to move out of the house, because you have older people saying that it's like, oh, you got to work harder, or this, or the housing market is a just a myth, a fairy tale, that sort of thing. Like it's bad. It's bad. I watch a few things here and there. Everything is just so expensive. People in my generation, kids in my generation, I am Gen Z, started in '97. I'm that fourth generation of Gen Z, fourth year Gen Z. I mean, I've got a good work ethic. Thank you, mom and dad. I've tried to do my best to keep that work ethic going. Tried to do my best. Yeah, I complain, I bitch and moan, but I've still tried to keep it good. I still try to work as hard as I can. Sometimes it feels like it's not seen by others, but one of my bosses, my assistant managers at the store, he said to me and one of my other coworkers, like, you guys are my stars. That is the best compliment I've ever gotten at this job. One of the best compliments I've gotten in a while. So I'm doing okay for now. But seriously, I think I do see what my dad is saying. That it's like, go off to the trades and all, do that sort of thing. I do see where he's coming from. I do understand. I do see that there are need for. A lot of people say like plumbers and electricians, those guys. But what about and HVAC guys? And I would say the diesel mechanics as well, but I'm not sure about that. There's an old phrase. People use one half of it. I think it's simplified, like a master of many things is a master of none. But then the full context, I heard this, but it's still better than a master of one. I can do a lot of things. One of my best things is I can work on a car, and a couple of other things, like I can build a hat for somebody. I can go off their head size, like, just give me your head size by centimeters, I will make you a good hat. I still got to make my brother his cowboy hat. I still got to get a few information. Like, I can do a lot of things. I really can. I can work hard. I can work my ass off. I can do all this and that. And even if I don't know, I can learn. Like, how to do, like, anything with leathers. Like, not much in terms of leather stuff, but more of like in hats. I learned how to do that just from a really, really old block. A block that I made myself. Like, I bettered myself learning how to do a bunch of that stuff. Like, I can do it. I think I just got to find the fun out of it. Like, where's the fun factor for me? I think there's an old phrase. I believe this is the entire phrase. Like, something about finding fun in your job and you won't have to work a single day of your life. I think it's a simplified version. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but what it boils down to, what I believe is, if you're having fun at your job, you won't have to work a day in your life. And I do have fun sometimes doing. I have fun doing this. I get to show you guys what I do. I want to be able. I get to show you guys what I love doing with this. And for me, it's just about having fun. And it's a hobby that I like. And sometimes it turns into probably a TED Talk. I remember some of my mom's, she gives it's like, I'm done with my TED Talk, she would say, or yeah. Most days I come home, I barely see anybody. I just kind of skedaddle out of the house when it's time for me to go. I tell people that uh, my family's we're not a perfect family by any means, but I think in the grand scheme of things, we're a strong and resilient family, despite our tensions within the family due to politics or our disdain for some of each other, or we just don't want to be in the same room with another person that we did what we were probably hurt by. But even at the end, even through everything, we're still strong. We still love each other. We're still strong, and I think the last four of us kids here staying at the house, we're pretty strong. We're pretty tight knit, and we all see that it's like, yeah, we're not going to be leaving this house anytime soon unless we won the lottery. And even then, like, I'm not leaving this house. Hell, I am not leaving the state by any means necessary. This is my home. This has been my home for over 20 years. I'm 23, almost 24. 23 years living in the same house. I love it here. You know, despite the politics of the nation and the states, I ain't leaving this place. I ain't leaving this home. You know, people want to leave just because they want to get out of the house. I like getting out of the house, but I'm not leaving the state. I'm not leaving my home. Even if I got married, I'd probably rather stay in this house. I don't want to move out by any means. I don't want to move out. Even if I paid rent, I'll pay rent. I'll pay rent if I have to. And that's my TED Talk. Yeah, with Charger, 2 more videos. I know I might have said like maybe another 2 or 3 videos, and I do apologize. It's very, very slow, this Charger. I want to do it right for a model like this. I don't want to screw anything up. I understand we're going to screw up here or there with models, but I want to do it right. I want to do it right for you guys to show that it can be done with a little bit of effort. I know people say, "Oh, you got to pull yourself by your bootstraps." No, really, with this model, I think with a little bit of effort, I think you do something really, really good. You can make it a really good model, even if it's a little janky here and there. But I think you can do really, really well. This video is not an educational one. It's more of a video of not enthusiasm. It's not enthusiastic. Not that word I'm looking for. It's go right ahead. Go try it. See if you want to do it. And if you don't like it, I would say just keep going with it. See where it leads you. It's like with life. See where it leads you. It may be shitty sometimes, but see where it leads you. See where it leads you. Well, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for sticking around this far in these videos. It means a lot. I get to show stuff that I love doing for you guys. Again, I still have plans for this. And I think another video, what I'll do is, I made 2, this is my second one, for you guys who have bull whips. You guys do Indiana Jones. Now this is a little bit of a tougher leather. I have a different leather that's a little bit cheaper that I got from Michael's. I'll probably show that off. I mean, it's very, very simple. I'll show it off to you guys. There's even one guy on Reddit who made the exact same one. The guy, his name is Captain Westicle on YouTube here. He's got a bunch of indie gear videos, and he even showed off his that he got. It was a hole-in-the-wall find. It's like, I found this little hole-in-the-wall website that he got it from. And he bought, I think, 2 or 3. And he said, I bought 2 or 3 thinking I would never find the site again, and he's right. He didn't find it again. I think there's one guy. I think there's maybe one guy on Facebook. I haven't looked him up or anything, but I think with a little bit of leather, you can do it. Even with that cheapo leather that I got from Michaels, very very simple to make. A little bit of this here and there. I cannot remember the type of knot that I used, but anyway, big like plans later in the future. But this is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for you new guys. We're at 23 subscribers. Thank you for that. I know there's a bunch of you guys who don't have your name shown. That is totally okay. That is okay. Everyone likes to remain anonymous. That's fine. But we'll still continue with the series. We're still gonna do this guy. We're still gonna do the Enterprise A. I'll show off my truck here and there. I'll probably even show off the Enterprise when I finally get to it. It's not even done. But also happy late Thanksgiving to all of you guys. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.